I'm over here at the Project 365 greenhouse. Do you really know what a healthy plant looks like? I thought I did. I've been growing plants a long time. Now, I'm not perfect by no means, but I thought I knew what healthy plants look like. But after listening and learning more from John Kemp, I started paying closer attention to details, and I discovered I really didn't know what a healthy plant looked like. And as I started doing applications to help plants do photosynthesis better, right? Can we tell if this plant is doing photosynthesis really well today or not? No, we can't. Not by just looking at it today. But we can tell by looking at it over a period of time, though, how it's doing. So I'm going to show you some visual cues on plants that will help you know, yes, my plants are doing a really good job plants, on the photosynthesis, or they're taking the day off and not doing much, or the week off, or the month off. So let me show you what I mean. Let's go for a walk. Let's take a look at this pepper. One major indicator that you can use is the size of the leaves. Right? So the size of the leaf at the bottom of the plant, huge, huh? Versus the leaves at the top of the plant. All right, so those are still growing leaves, but this one should be growed out. They're not near as big, right? So we've got some genetic potential that we could do more with on this plant. But this plant's been, wow, very productive. But it can do better. So another thing that you'll want to look for is the internodes. So the node is where the leaf is coming out, and the next node is here. If we get this pepper to cooperate, right? Good example of having big leaves at the bottom all the way up the top, with this at the top part of the plant. And pretty stellar. These peppers have been pretty impressive for this far north. We are on the 49th parallel, so pretty far north. Another thing we want to look for is complete leaf development, where you see on this beet, it didn't have complete leaf development. That's probably a calcium deficiency. And so sometimes those are water issues, sometimes it's just truly a calcium deficiency. I'd say it's probably a water issue. These plants are on the edge of the bed, these beets are. But you want those leaves to be complete. And like I say, as big at the bottom of the plant as at the top of the plant. Look at that bean. I'm like, oh my gosh, it is just happy as could be, right? So, but it could be a little darker. But those are just plant indicators, right? It is being super healthy and super productive. You see, it's went clear. It's one plant, one pole bean clear up in the top there. It was growing in the floor of the greenhouse, and we let it go. And we're going to do a lot more of that next year. I'm telling you, that was unbelievable. So those are some major things to look for. See, this one's internodes are quite long compared to that internode. Different genetics, but we want to tighten those internodes up where they're shorter, and the thicker the stem, the better. Especially on these peppers, because wow, can they get overloaded, then they topple over, and then they break, like this one did. We don't want that. We want them standing up for the whole season so that we can continue to pick and harvest as we go. Here's another example of really big stems. Look at this. Isn't that amazing? This is borage, and we want hairy plants, like really hairy. Now borage is classically hairy anyhow, but Another thing we could look for is the size of the fruit. So the size of the fruit at the bottom of the plant and the size of the fruit at the top of the plant should be the same. They should be just as big and not have a gradual change in size to smaller. We want them big from the bottom to the top. We want the plant leaves to have a waxy coat on them. And I mean all plants will have a waxy coat, not just your kale and broccoli, things that are super easy to see that waxy coat on, but all plants can and will get that waxy coat, because when they do get that waxy coat, they are getting fat. And yes, we want fat plants, very fat plants, because if they're getting a fat cover put on, that means that they are doing photosynthesis to their full ability and they're getting everything they want. And they're taking that excess and putting it down into the soil for the microbes through the root exudates. And that waxy coat, which is the fat layer, is going to protect them from insects and pests. And the thicker the leaf, the better. And they should feel like this one feels weaker than this one. So we want those leaves to be thick and substantial, not wimpy and soft. Look at those guys, aren't they amazing? All right, well, I hope those were some good, quick visuals to help you. So, recap, we want shorter inner nodes. We want big leaves from the bottom to the top of the plant. We want a waxy coat on the surface of the plant. And we want thick stems. Thicker stems, the better. So those are some major indicators that will start helping you. And we want the plant leaf to be thick, substantial, not wimpy and soft. Sometimes they're wimpy and soft because they need water, but other times they just don't have enough structure. And we want plants that are forming leaves properly all the way to the top of the plant. Like for instance, this pepper back here. See, it was forming fantastic here in the early season, but then we hit some hot streak, and see at the top of the plant, it is got a calcium deficiency going on, and could be some boron issue too, but it could be healthier. So it was earlier, and now it's not, and how are we going to tell if whatever we put on it to amend it? The only way we're going to tell is at the very top of the growth point, at the growth point of the plant, when it's got new leaves, because we can't fix the old leaves. So that's where we're going to be able to tell if we put on some worm castings, fish, or micronutrients, whatever we may use. That's how we're going to be able to indicate if it worked or not. So just a real quick little tour here. Oh, look at that. That's definitely not doing as good as it could be doing, right? These plants here overcame the aphids though. I will be putting a video on that, but the aphids did not hurt them for production. And here's some of the flowers put in cover crop to help with the pollinators. And these nasturtiums and stuff and cosmos all took a hit during the hot weather. That's some red amaranth, the carrot that we're letting go to flower. But now that the cool season has come, they are happy as could be. And I think you probably have noticed in the video here that we have a lot of diversity, and I will be talking a lot more about diversity in other videos. So for now, hope you've learned how to grow healthier plants, and when they're not being as healthy as they could, we need to do something to help them do photosynthesis more and better so they can overcome their issues and do the best that they can do. All right, for now, it's been great visiting with you. You all know what to do with the buttons, and you don't need to have a lecture from me. But I sure hope if you do like it that you'd use the buttons, because that helps the channel in the long run, and we want to get to as many people as we can to give them some garden knowledge to help them grow healthier, more nutritious, nutrient-dense food. Well, so that's it for this video, and I'll just recap real quick as to what the plant indicators, visual plant indicators are to help you have super healthy plants, and when they're not doing this, that you can do something about it. So tight internodes, thick stems, hairy as could be, thicker leaves, big leaves at the bottom, and the leaves at the top the same size as the ones bottom, all big, all the way up the plant, and uniformly shaped leaves from the bottom all the way to the top, and yeah, our normal color indicators that you guys already know. But those major points are going to help you immensely. So when your plants aren't doing that, oh, and the waxy coat, that's when they start getting fat. That's what we want, fat plants. Hard to believe. That's what we want. So, waxy coat. And for now, let's grow healthy, and we'll see you in another video soon. Bye now.